Hello friends, welcome to Codeboard. In this video, we will summarize all the operators in Java. We also have separate videos on all operators explained individually. So in this video, again, we will go through all the operators, and if anything is missed, it will be covered here. So let's get started with the video. In this video, we will see all the operators again, and that too their preference wise. So operator is something that has capability to manipulate a certain value. There are various operators in Java such as assignment operators, arithmetic operators, logical operators, etc. As you know, we have Bodmer's rule in mathematics, and while solving this expression, this rule is followed. Similarly, in Java, execution of operators follow a rule. Meaning, if you have multiple operators in one statement, operator which has highest preference is executed first. So let's see all the operators again, and that too preference wise. So obviously first the preference is given to brackets. So any expression that is in brackets is executed first, starting from inner to outer brackets. So for example, if we have int result equal to 3 into 4 plus 5 in brackets, then 4 plus 5 will be executed first. So expression will go like 3 into 9 equal to 27. So let's print our result, evaluating bracket and result. So here we can see the answer is 27. So even if multiplication has highest preference, brackets are executed first. Now talking about operators in Java, the first one is post, or you can say unary post increment operator. It is denoted by plus plus, and it increments the value of operand by 1. So let's see. Suppose if we have int a equal to 3, and if I print a plus plus, here the value of a should increment to 4. Let's see. So here actually the value of a, or the value of the statement, is printed as 3. This is because this is post increment operator, and in post increment operator, value is printed first and then it is incremented. So if I again print the value of a, just a, it is going to be 4, because now the value has incremented. So if I assign the value of a to a certain variable and say a plus plus, and if we print b now, b will also have a value of 3, because the value is assigned to b first and then it is incremented. So the value of b, as we can see, is 3, and the value of a has changed to 4. Similarly, we have unary post decrement. So again, let's change a to 3, and if I print post decrement, which is a minus minus, minus minus suggests the value is decremented, and since the decrement operator is after the variable, it is post decrement. After this I'll print again the value of a, because the first statement is going to print 3 and the second will print 2. So in the first statement, value is printed and then it is decremented. After this, next preference goes to unary pre-increment. Now as the name suggests, it is opposite to post increment. Now here the value is incremented first and then printed. Let's see. So again, a equal to 3, and if I print plus plus a, since plus plus is written before the variable, it is pre-increment. So here the value will be incremented and printed. So as you can see, the value is directly incremented to 4. In post incremented, it was 3 and then incremented to 4. In pre, it has directly incremented to 4. And similarly, after this we have unary pre-decrement. So let's copy this, and decrement indicates minus minus a. So the value will be directly decremented and printed. So I hope you got the difference between post increment and pre-increment, and post decrement and pre-decrement. Let's start with the next. So next up we have unary minus. Unary minus simply changes the sign of the operand. So if I have int, a equal to 3, and if I say b equal to minus a. So it is going to change the sign of 3 to minus 3. So if I print this and if we print b, it is minus 3. So if a was minus 3 and if we say b equal to minus a, it is going to evaluate to minus of minus 3, which is equal to 3. So now the value of b is 3. Next we have logical negation. So logical negation changes the value of logical condition. So if certain logical condition evaluates to true and we add logical negation, that is the exclamation mark before it, it is going to print false. So suppose if I have boolean c equal to true and if I print and if I say not c, exclamation mark usually means not in Java. So not c will just make true to false. So here it is going to print false. So if I am checking a condition such as if I want to check if the value of a, that is 3 for now, is greater than 1. So if I want to check if value of a is greater than 1, I will check it like this. So a greater than 1. This should evaluate to true. And if I want to check not of this condition, so this condition should not be there, then I'll write not. So since a is greater than 1, not a greater than 1 is going to print false. If we change a to 0, it is going to print true because a greater than 1 is false and not a greater than 1 is going to be true. Then the next is unary bitwise complement. So if a number a is say 8, so unary bitwise complement inverts the binary bits of the number. So first the number is converted to binary. Let's take a easier one, that is 2. So representation of 2 is 0 0 0 0 0 0 1 0. And if we invert the bits, it is going to be 1 1 1 1 1 1 0 1, which in decimal is minus 3. So let's print. So I'll write first b equal to this unary bitwise complement, which is represented by this sign a. So this will invert the bits and give the result. So let's print b. So here the output is minus 3. Then next we have arithmetic operators, which take the next preference. So you know the basic arithmetic operations, that is multiplication, division, addition and subtraction, and also the remainder operator. So let's see the arithmetic operators preference wise. First being multiplication. So we will simply print it in a variable result equal to a into b. It is going to print the multiplication. So let's print. So we'll also print first the rest ones because they are simpler now. So if we print all this, we'll have our respective results of multiplication, division, remainder, addition and subtraction. I hope you understood till this. Let's go to the next operators. Next in the preference line are shift operators. First we have left shift operator. Let's see how it works. So suppose if I have a equal to 8. In left shift operator, binary bits of the number are shifted to left. So let's convert 8 to binary, which is 1 0 0 0. So when I say b equal to, so I am left shifting 2, so a, then the left shift operator, which is denoted by 2 angle brackets, and the number of bits I want to shift. So if I say 2, it is going to be shifted by 2 bits. So simply two zeros are going to be added at the end of the binary number. So it is going to be 1 0 0 0, which is 8, and then 2 bits. So this evaluates to 32. So our output should be 32. So if I print this and let's print B. So the output here is 32. If I say A left shift 3, 3 bits are going to be added and one more 0 will be added and its decimal conversion will be printed. Similarly, there is right shift operator. So before that, there is a shortcut to evaluate the value of left shift operator, which goes like this. The operand on which the left shift operation is to be performed into 2, which is going to be constant, raised to the number of bits we want to shift. So 2 raised to 2. So it evaluates to 8 into 4, which is 32. So this is a shortcut way to find the value of left shift operation. The next in the line is right shift operator. So again, let's say if A equal to 8. So first it is converted to binary, which is 1 0 0 0. Then when I say B equal to A right shift, which is denoted by 2 angle brackets this way, and 2 bits, since we are shifting 2 bits. In the right shift operator, and this is, remember, this is signed right shift operator. So in this, what happens is 2 zeros, because since it is 2 bits, 2 zeros are removed from the end of the binary number and they are added before the number. So it goes as 0 0 1 0. 2 zeros removed from here and added before the number. Now if the number is negative, 1 is added, otherwise 0. So this operator considers sign. That is why it is called as signed right shift operator. Let's print the output. So simply value after right shift. And we can see the output is 2, which is the decimal conversion of 0010. And we have unsigned right shift. Next. So in signed right shift, I told you for negative numbers, 1 is added from behind the number. But in unsigned right shift, sign is not considered. So that is the only difference. Rest it evaluates the same way. So let's move to the next set of operators. So next we have all the relational operators. Relational operators check if value is equal to or not equal to, less than, greater than, etc. And depending on the condition, evaluate true or false. So if I have A equal to 3 and B equal to 4. So let's print all the relational operators one by one. Less than goes first. And if I print A less than B. So if A is less than B, true will be evaluated, otherwise false. Then we have less than equal to, which goes as less than equal to. So if the number is less than or equal to, true, otherwise false. Then we have greater than, A greater than B, which is again simple. Then greater than equal to, which is denoted by A greater than equal to. Then we have equal to, which checks if the two numbers are equal. So it is denoted by 2 equals to sign. Remember, 1 equal to sign is for assignment, 2 equals to are for checking if two numbers are equal. And then we have not equal to. So we can write it with exclamation and equal to, that is not equal to. And it is going to be printing true or false depending if the condition is satisfied. So we have true for less than equal to, since 3 is less than 4. Less than and less than equal to. For greater than and greater than equal to, it is going to be false because 3 is not greater than 4. Equal to is false because two numbers are not equal to, and not equal to is true. So in this way, relational operators work. let's move to the next. So next we have bitwise operators. This we have bitwise AND and bitwise OR. So first is bitwise AND in the preference. So if we have A equal to 8, let's say, and B equal to 10. So when I say result equal to A, bitwise operator, bitwise AND, which is represented by single ampersand, and B, in this case the bits are compared. So binary 8 is 1 0 0 0 and 10 is 1 0 1 0. So for bitwise AND there are some rules. Let's see it first. 1 and 1. So 1 represents true and 0 represents false. If we compare to the logical terms, 1 and 1 equal to 1. 1 and 0 equal to 0 because it is and both should be true. So 0 and 1 equal to 0 and 0 and 0 equal to again 0. So in AND, for the output to be true or 1, both should be 1. So if we evaluate this in result, sorry, we already have it. In result, 1 and 1 is going to be 1, 0 and 0 is going to be 0, 0 and 1 again 0 and 0. So the output is going to be again 8. So let's print the result. So here we have 8. Similarly, there is bitwise OR, which is represented by a single pipeline like this. So let's see the rules. So in OR, even if 1 is true, the output is true because either one of them should be true, which is OR. So 1 or 1 equal to 1. 1 or 0 is equal to 1 again. 1, 0 or 1 is going to be 1 and 0 or 0 is going to be 0 because both are false. So let's evaluate our result. A is equal to 8, which is 1 0 0 0, and B equal to 10, which is 1 0 1 0. So in result we'll print A or B, which is bitwise OR. So if we evaluate this, it is going to be 1 or 1, which is 1, 0 or 0 is 0, 0 or 1 is 1, and 0 or 0 is 0, which is again equal to 10 in decimal. So let's print result, and our result is 10 for bitwise OR. Bitwise OR also work on relational condition. Let's see. So if you want to check two conditions, A greater than 1 and B greater than 1. So we are going to put it in bracket. So if both the conditions are true, then the output is going to be true, otherwise false. So here the output is true. If I make it the first false, that is A less than 1, which is false, it is going to be false. Similarly for OR, even if 1 is true condition, the output is going to be true. So in this way, bitwise work on condition, and on number they work separately. Differently. So in bitwise, both the conditions are checked and then the output is evaluated. Now next up we have logical. Again we have logical and logical OR. So in logical AND, same rules follow. If one condition is false, the output is false. And in logical OR, if one condition is true, the output is true. So we have and if I print the same statement as bitwise operators, logical AND are represented by two ampersand symbols. So A greater than A less than 1 and B greater than 1, it is going to evaluate to false. So false. And for OR, if we do, it is going to evaluate to true. So what is the difference between logical and bitwise? The main difference is that in logical, if in AND, logical AND, if first condition is false, we know that the output is going to be false. Because if one is false, the output is false. So the compiler does not check for the second condition. Similarly, in logical OR, if the first condition is true, the compiler does not check for the second condition. But in bitwise, both the conditions are checked. So this is the difference between logical and bitwise operators. Let's move to the next set of operators, that is assignment operators. So next we have assignment operators. So there are various assignment operators again. Let's see one by one. So when we say A equal to 3, we are assigning a value of 3 to A. So here equal to is the assignment operator. The next assignment operator is plus equal to. So if we want to add 4 to A, what we'll have to do is A equal to A plus 4. Right? This will add 4 to A. The other way to do is A plus equal to 4. In this way, 4 will be added to the existing value of A. So when I say A equal to 4, it overwrites the value of A. But when I say A plus equals to 4, it adds 4 to the existing value of A. Similarly, when I say A minus equal to 4, it removes 4 from the existing value of A. A multiplication equals to 4 will multiply A, that is whatever the value of A is, into 4. Similarly, we have A divided by equal to 4, A remainder by equal to 4, and so on. We also have same expressions for shift operators, bitwise operators, etc. So you can try these operators with multiple values and check how they work. If you like this video, please subscribe to our channel and also share this video. Thank you.